they need help. We have 10,000 residents in the town of Burnsville with no water and no possibility for water.
The massive amount of rain that we got, but then at the same time, I think there are other things that have contributed to the destruction that resulted from the flood.
We all know each other. Luckily, I have a lot of extended family that live here.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, Pensacola, a small community nestled in the mountains of North Carolina, is struggling to recover. 1 week after the devastating storm, residents find themselves in a state of isolation with no aid in sight. Homes have been reduced to rubble, streets submerged in mud, and the community is left wondering when or if help will arrive. Christy Edwards, a local homeowner, walks through the wreckage where her house once stood. She stares at the ruins, her voice a mix of disbelief and frustration.
Yes, I do feel forgotten. The first few days, all we had was a case of water to feed and take care of people. So we all know each other. Luckily, I have a lot of extended family that live here. And so we just took care of each other. We received no help from anybody. The government has not come in here. We have not seen the first person from FEMA yet. Now, we need the government in here now to help us. Winter is coming. It gets cold here. Next week, it's going to get down in the 40s. These people in these homes have no heat source other than power. Water. Its water treatment plant that joins this Cane River has washed away, and they need help. We have 10,000 residents in the town of Burnsville with no water and no possibility for water.
The storm unleashed unprecedented devastation across the community. Mobile homes were ripped from their foundations, churches left in tatters, and bridges split in half. Pensacola's once tranquil Cane River became a raging force of destruction, leaving homes flooded and entire streets impassable. Cars lie buried in thick mud, and the remains of houses scatter the landscape. Yet, in the face of such widespread destruction, the community has received no official assistance. As the temperatures fall, the lack of aid has placed the community in a perilous position. Many houses are still without water, and with the storm having damaged critical infrastructure, survival through the colder months seems increasingly uncertain. Cindy King, a teacher and longtime resident of Pensacola, has taken on the role of caretaker for her father, Jerry Riddle, who is trying to salvage what he can from his destroyed home. King also echoed the frustrations of other residents, emphasizing how unprepared they feel in the face of such disaster.
And so, in terms of how I feel, I'm just went into sort of problem-solving mode and trying to just sort of help and help keep my dad focused and on track. And he's been rebuilding water pumps so that they will work and can pump all the water out of the basement of my house. The climate change that we've experienced could be a factor in terms of the massive amount of rain that we got. But then at the same time, I think there are other things that have contributed to the destruction that resulted from the flood.
As the floodwater recede, the full scope of the destruction becomes more apparent with each passing day. Roads remain clogged with debris, and local construction crews are working tirelessly to restore access to the community. Despite their efforts, however, the pace of recovery has been agonizingly slow. For many, it feels as if they have been forgotten by the outside world. The hurricane has not only washed away homes, but also undermined the resilience of the people living in Pensacola. Their spirits, however, remain intact, rooted in the strong sense of community that defines this small town. Residents like Christy Edwards and Cindy King have stepped into leadership roles, offering comfort and guidance to those around them. But despite their determination, there is a growing sense of helplessness as they wait for outside support that may never come. The long-term economic toll of Helene could be devastating for the region. Local businesses that depend on tourism, farming, and small-scale manufacturing have been obliterated. The destruction of the water treatment plant alone represents a critical blow to the area's ability to rebuild, And without clean water, public health risks are expected to surge in the coming weeks.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.